there. All right. What? Yeah, turn
Is
what,
the
camera?
audio on, Bars?
What are we talking about? My head?
Yes. So
Why are we talking about my head?
Because I requested the audio on from front of the house
Okay.
in the control room.
All
There's
right.
a lot of smoke in here, I've noticed. That was a lot of smoke.
Gio complained about the glare of my head several weeks ago, and it's been a concern of
So
mine.
you wanted the audio turned on. Normally we do the whole intro where the music's playing, and I'd like to get through all of it. But you had said something about your head. because we have a new camera.
Right.
Our new Sky camera. Can we switch to the Sky camera quickly?
Yeah, we're on the Sky camera right now.
Please put a 1 in the chat if JP's head looks great. You know what I mean? And please put a 2 in the chat.
Yeah.
If you'd like a different head angle.
Yes. If my head is at an awkward angle, let us know.
And you know what I mean? And where we have thick skin here.
It's not easy being the sexiest promoter in New England. I'm trying to maintain my image.
I'm telling you right now, if you continue with that.
I am. I'm back at the gym. I'm getting ready, man.
That might hit.
Oh, yeah. It's already hitting. You should see my inbox. It's blowing up.
You have more fans, I've noticed, going into 2023 than you've ever had.
Thankfully, I have more female fans. If it was more male fans, I'd be a little concerned.
Well,
hey, do your thing, but it's not my thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you got to get with Johnny fucking Impact.
Johnny fucking
boop.
Impact. Boop, boop. He's my little brother.
Welcome.
My
Well, Johnny's
bad
your brother.
decision-making little brother.
Yeah, buddy.
Hey, buddy.
Welcome to the Sepsiss page. Welcome to another edition of the Honeycomb Hideout. And
we are live.
yes, we are live. And if you didn't know, now this happens every hump day.
Wednesday, let me.
That's right. So my esteemed friend, you like that?
I'm back this week, and I'm feeling real good about it.
My panel's here. My immaculate panel to the left of me, of course. And this is.
I'm Lexi Swarm, the celebrity merch girl of Sepsiss Band. I am also the co-host of not only this live cast, but also Swarm TV, which is every Sunday, joined by Miss Melissa Wolf. And I am also the host of a podcast called the Muddle Honeys Podcast, which is it's not bi-weekly. It's a once a month.
She's adding more work for herself, folks.
Whoa.
It's a once a month podcast talking about the hard rock and heavy metal reset and everything going on in New England and pop culture. It's fun.
And then of course we have so Lexi works for the band, but you might even do some music with us this year, hopefully.
Ooh.
Hopefully, I have been working on my fall score.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we've been working on like Lexi's screaming because I mean this year Lexi and Melissa we're hoping to do a song together. They're best friends,
I like it.
and she's been around the music so long.
I like it.
Thank you.
So our band, this is a band page. This is our band page, and Sepsiss is a 6-piece band. We are multi-layered, multi-genre at times, textured, timbre. I'd say that we are the United Nations of rock and roll. We come in all different shapes and sizes and flavors. And one thing that might be different than a lot of hard rock or metal bands today is we don't use any looper pedals or no, I'm just kidding. No, that was 6 of us. That there's 6 of us.
Please no
And
pedals.
it's well the thing is it's hard to have 6 people in a room every week. Band practice is every Sunday, and I've been practicing with most of these guys for 4, 8, and 12 years. We've been a band for a long time, over a decade here in New England. We're kind of the band, we're kind of like the social media band. So it's our second home here on Facebook, social media apps. A lot of this is because rock and roll hasn't taken a great interest in local or regional artists. So we start out on a campaign earlier in our careers to also help create conversations and awareness about other bands, not just our own. Me and Melissa had a mission statement early in our career and promised to always be generous in the sense of if we grew as a band that we would open the door and help others grow around us. Johnny has been in the band with me and plays bass in the band. And JP has worked with the band on a handful of different projects as a promoter, some regional and floor management work. We've also done some
tour managing.
We've done some creative work together, and this is up to date, kind of a little dream for me and JP to come on and be able to host conversations, not just about rock and roll and music, but specifically about New England and New England bands. And he has a lot of experience, and at a combined effort here, we make up the group and the nucleus of the conversation for a couple of hours every Wednesday.
Yep.
But I will say with a grain of salt that the broadcast is an entertainment and conversation and opinion-based live stream about music, everybody. This is about music. This is a band page, and while it is presented by myself, the band, Melissa's not here, so Cam's not here. We can't speak for everybody that's not here.
These opinions are our own.
Right, we can't speak for everybody in New England. We can't speak for all of rock and roll. This is just for fun. You're welcome to chime in. I'll tell you how the show breaks down. In 2 hours, we have a segment called Sound Check. This is it.
Hi.
Right. This is Sound Check.
In a moment, we'll go to our other topic block system that is called the Breakdown, where we'll have some kind of speedy articles and just fun stuff to read. You guys can jump into conversation. And then we'll do our traditional According to Lexi. You guys remember that?
Yep.
We have a new segment called The Promoter's Ambition for JP.
Oh, it's mine. Okay.
We'll make sure we get a really good shot of his skeleton.
My dome.
When we do that. And then after that, we have crowd surfing, which is where you guys can call in. I hope the number's still up there. If it is, please wait to the last portion of the live cast where you guys can call in and talk as much shit as you want with us. Keep it polite.
Yeah, calls after 8:30, I'm assuming. We're going to get close to the end of the show. Half an hour left. Yeah, so.
But
Johnny,
we're watching in the comments.
I haven't seen you in a while, Johnny. Been a couple weeks.
Yeah, how have you been, man?
You good? I'm good. You good? All right.
Doing great.
All right.
I will remind y'all that we are streaming also on Twitch, so thank you for being there on Twitch, everybody. That's
Hi, Twitch.
Hi, Twitch.
Donating subs and bits over there. Our moderators, Nate's out there, my homeboy Fluffy, and Melissa's in the comments. So if you guys want to talk with Melissa or other band members.
Hi, Melissa.
Swarmies, different people.
Hi, Nate.
They're pushing this. Please, the big thing, big key takeaway here is wherever you guys are watching from, please share this feed. Share the feed.
Yes.
Stories. This is an important time.
Get it out there.
For us as creators, not just, as you guys know, that Sepsiss is a multi-tiered and skill set group. We're not just musicians. We're also event coordinators and broadcasters and models, and we do commercials and rap music and voiceovers and cartoons, and we do flyers and videos and photography, and we fly drones, and we host games. And so there's more than Sepsiss than just making music. And making music is a backdrop and a landscape to a lot of the other things we do. So with that said, please share this as much as you can, wherever you might be viewing from.
All right, listen, I wasn't part of the show last week. I had some management duties, 16 by 20. I'm a longtime manager of the band 16 by 20, so we had a show. We did a show with Killer's Confession and Ra. So we were busy. I was busy. I couldn't be here. I felt like I was in the wrong place. I missed you guys. I even missed,
it was weird.
I missed all of you. I missed you, Good Bars. It sucks we don't have a mic on Good Bars tonight. You can't hear him.
If anybody wants to listen to last week's episode, it's just me.
Well, I missed y'all. I missed you, Melissa. Thank you, Melissa and Nate, for always watching our back. I missed y'all. I even missed Gio.
You miss Gio?
I mean, cool. It's kind of like having a headache every Wednesday, and then all of a sudden you don't have a headache, and it's like,
how do you go from missing them to kind of missing them to then?
So I got to give a special shout out before we get started. Today's broadcast and live feed is sponsored by our favorite guys at Convicted Printing. So if you didn't know about Convicted Printing, They are a really cool clothing company out of Florida. They are a sponsor of ours. They really like to push the band and other bands at our level. So please go check them out. They have built a company around the motivation and ambition to help educate and protect people about child trafficking.
Very important cause. Very important cause. Good company.
And the cool part about this is the company is actually an opportunity based company that also provides opportunities for guys coming home that have had therapy and taken the steps to rebuild their lives coming home from prison. Maybe some guys that don't have opportunities or jobs. And
it's good
what
stuff.
I think is really cool about their cause is they get these guys in there and they're educating them about the child trafficking. They're educating them about how to use these machines and printing and bands and all this stuff. And naturally, rock and roll is fun to be involved in. So at a combination of all these cool energies and efforts, they have this company. And we're proud partners with them. You can go check them out on sepsiss.com or go look them up here on Facebook. That's Convicted Printing.
Convicted Printing. Florida. They're in Florida, right?
They're a Florida-based company, and they're for a really good cause.
All right, quick shout-outs here. Obviously, a shout-out to all our regulars. Thank you for tuning in. But we have some really crazy new fans. We've got Carl McIsaac from Newfoundland, Canada.
Yo, we keep
that's a new one. I haven't heard that.
No, we keep getting
Pauline,
invitations.
Pauline, please excuse me. I'm going to try here.
Uh-oh.
Pauline McClymont from Glasgow, Scotland, and I'm
wow.
I'm like 25% Scottish, so I'm really happy that we got some Scottish viewers out there. We got some people popping in from all over, so I'm really excited about this.
I appreciate that. This is
Kevin.
a strange time for us. I feel like we're really, it's not always the best to be known by everybody. But it's really cool to be known or appreciated or discovered by the right people. A lot to be said for the folks that publicly represent sepsis in our band and our music across the globe and across the entire planet. And the internet and social media has given us the tools to do that. If you guys don't know about what a Patreon is or Swarmies or any of these type of top fans or subscribers, all these applications or a handful of them come with different tiers or levels of support that you can have for the page or us as content creators. We don't have any big companies or corporations that pay us to do this. We do this because it's a dream of ours. It's something we wanted to do since we were little kids. So this is something we have been motivated to do, and is a representation of our life's work. That's what this page is. That's what our music represents. Some bands, maybe their music doesn't represent their life's work. But this band, publicly, this is our life's work. So we're not ashamed to say that. So for you people out there that are not ashamed and excited about publicly supporting us and doing that in your own real estate, on your own pages, as far as like sharing or leaving reviews, following, becoming followers, subscribers, or even Patreons. I gotta just say thank you from me and Melissa and everybody here, because you guys are really pushing us and giving us the courage and the encouragement to keep having these conversations and keep having these broadcasts. You guys are giving us the fuel and energy and the resources by you guys supporting us.
Absolutely.
You guys are helping us create music. There's no record labels that help us pay to get this stuff done or send us across.
They are showing that they give a fuck.
Give a fuck.
They give a fuck.
I think it's important
live
to know that. I don't know what other fans of other bands do, but fans of Sepsiss are curators and they're builders. They're world creators here in this company and in this family. And I just want to say a special thank you to everybody that is in the Patreons, because you guys heard the new music. I know that at certain levels of Sepsiss, there are supporter levels that Melissa allows people to hear unreleased music and hear tracks that are coming. And we do that because our music is peer reviewed. We review our music with our most trusted.
Oh, I would like to publicly comment on this. Because I'm really digging the new music, and I know that you only put out the one song to the Patreons, but I was fortunate enough to hear a couple others. So this album is going to be a good album, and the Sepsiss fans are going to be really happy with this.
Thank you, man.
And it's important that I say this publicly, because behind closed doors, when we're not in the public, man, I'm tough. Even on my friends, will tell you
Big time. When
I
I
get-
have to
I'm
show
tough.
JP a track, I'm like, oh. When I hit the send button, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I tell the truth about what I'm thinking, and sometimes the truth isn't nice. But you know what? I really dig this. I dig this album. Really, one song in particular has got my attention, but I like the
No
one you sent
pressure
the other
or
day.
anything, because that's,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
that's-
I'm not going to tell anybody about that song because it hasn't been released yet. But man, it's got my attention. So
Thank you to everybody for listening to it. 'Cause
absolutely.
And some of you are really mad at me. I had some people like they say, man, what the fuck? How come I can't listen to it?
Oh no, it's
And
it's one of those things, man. It's like when you put on a Black Friday deal, right? And then
Yeah.
people go, well, how come I can't get it next Tuesday? Because you missed it.
right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
There's
But
rules to the game, you know.
there is, and especially there's steps that we have to take professionally as a band to prepare a release. So we can't just have it available
Right. It can't be public.
for everybody.
Right.
So so for the folks that understand our mission and in the process of trying to release professional music, and the fact that it's going to cost us a lot of money to release music.
Yep.
Especially in today's age. Wow.
Especially post-COVID, everything's
the
so expensive now.
The fact that you guys get our mission and the way that you guys contribute and the way that you guys have expressed the way you feel about the new music means a lot to me and the rest of the team.
Yeah, thank
So-
you all for that. Let's move
Thank
on to
you.
the topics. Let's keep this rolling.
What do you got, Lex?
I have a bunch.
Give us some.
I
give
got a
us something
couple
good.
too. Go for it, Lexi.
Okay.
I want to hear what you got.
Well,
Feel
no
free to
pressure or
chime in
anything.
on all this
You
stuff
could
when
do-
it's time for
or
call-ins,
Pepsi
folks.
could do his first.
It's okay. I can do it. It's just which one do I want to go with?
No
first?
pressure, Lexi. Let's go.
I'll go with this one first. Let's
Go.
do this. Let's go.
I know they were going to
Let's
do that.
go. Are you
Now.
going to talk about the topics? Are you going to talk about the new app that you created today that we were talking about?
So Lexi created an app.
We can totally talk about the
yeah.
new app.
Yeah, we're not gonna. For those of you that are big fans of Twitter, I put it out there to the guys. I'm like, hey, I rejoined Twitter. You know what I mean? I haven't tweeted anything.
He said this 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. I rejoined Twitter today, like yesterday or whatever. But I'm back. I'm back. I'm paying attention. And Lexi goes, what did she say? Something about.
I was like, did you pay for Titter Blue?
Yeah, Titter Blue, yeah. So now there's a new app we're coming up with. Lexi's idea. It's going to be Titter. So instead of tweeting
Yo,
a
if Musk
comment,
even hears
you're
about
gonna
that,
s- you're gonna
we might
send
get
out-
off. And it might,
yeah, we need pictures
I want
of
patent
your assets,
royalty.
ladies.
I was
Of the new
gonna say,
Titter app.
You might want to check the intellectual availability on that property.
Yeah.
But so one article is Willow Smith talking about how you don't have to be radio friendly to be cool.
Well, let me tell you something right now. She ain't got no hair to whip back and forth. Cause she cut all the hair off.
She's a cute girl.
Remember
though,
that?
but-
I
Yeah.
whip my hair back and forth.
She's a cute girl. She's gonna catch a lot of flack because of who her parents are. You know, a lot of people aren't ready to see her do hard
When you
rock,
say
heavy
something
metal.
crazy, you're gonna get slapped in the mouth too. So I should chill out with all this bald shit.
Keep your
Hey,
music
no, but-
comments out of your mouth.
Yo, but what I was gonna say is like the whole thing was about like G.I. Jane and then here's Willow cutting off all her hair.
Well,
not whip.
that's support for her mom, right? Maybe.
I hope
sort of,
so.
Yeah.
I'm just
It's all
saying,
good.
there ain't no whipping no hair back and forth.
It's all good.
Well, there's one part that she said that, and it says, I feel that rock is such an expansive genre. People focus on pop punk a lot. We all love pop punk. It's beautiful and amazing.
I think
But-
pop punk people focus on pop punk, but that's okay.
But let's not forget that the metal, thrash, and classic rock, there are all these different forms that rock takes and all these different feelings that it can express. And she goes on to say that her album is a love letter to all the flavors of rock that can have, from Smashing Pumpkins to Lamb of God.
You know one flavor of rock and roll that just doesn't taste good is economics.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
no.
I mean, she can talk all that shit she wants to. She's a sharp kid.
Yep.
I hope I don't get slapped in the mouth over this. But just for the record, my name is William. Also,
Yeah. Someone needs to make sure that Big E and Bang are ready in case Will Smith rolls up.
I'm not playing with Will Smith. He can definitely bench press more than I can. I'll tell you that. Hey, quick story about that though. I went to his house.
You went to Will Smith's house.
Wait, what? You went to Will Smith's house?
I went
I need to
to
hear
the.
about
Be-
this.
I did. I pulled
hear
right up in L.A. First of all, it's not in Bel Air.
No,
I
you
was
know?
expecting you
No.
to say
That's
Bel
some
Air. Not
bullshit.
gonna
No,
lie
it's,
to
it's
you.
actually
lied
about.
to.
We were. So the house itself isn't
Does he
in
live
Bel
with
Air.
Uncle Phil? Or
He
does
doesn't live in Uncle Phil. And you
What?
know another thing was crazy is that when you pull up to the house, it's actually quite smaller than you'd imagine.
What?
Yeah. So I went with my brother, and he's gonna watch this too. I went with my brother O-Dog. He took me.
What? Get out of town!
He
Get
took.
out!
He did. We went to go smoke weed at Will Smith's house.
Get out of town!
Yeah, I was in L.A. and he goes, we were just in L.A. We had a couple hours to kill. He goes, you know where we're near? And I was like, where? He's like, your house.
Your house?
And I'm like, what the
That's
fuck are you
awesome.
talking about? And he's like, we're gonna go down and smoke. He goes, you're never gonna believe it when we pull up.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know,
Yeah. You know, but a lot of people
my
don't
stage
know.
name
Yeah.
is Savant.
You're right.
My real name is Smith.
Which would make you Will Smith. Yeah, let's stick with Savant. The other guy's
So-
slapping people in the mouth. We
So
don't need to
I
do
know
that.
I don't need that shit. It's bad PR. So to sit on my throne. So that's
You
we
notice
get
that,
there.
though? Like the heavy metal guys, we're not violent. People think we're all violent and angry. And you
No.
got Will Smith up there slapping people in the mouth.
Well, that's a whole nother topic. We could go out. That's another topic block.
Should we
I
have
do
that
want to
next
say
week?
We'll
though,
talk about that next week,
one
next week.
thing that doesn't take. We were talking about flavors and the flavors of rock and roll. I'll get back to my Will Smith thing in a second. But one flavor that I don't like is economics and the fact that anything that's successful in mainstream, especially the more metal you get,
Yeah.
anything that's successful or popular is looked down upon.
Yeah, you're a sellout.
So yeah, sell out seats.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
So as soon as you start selling tickets, the same thing happens with Sepsiss. We'll talk about this later on when we talk about the top bands in New England. Because
Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about the top bands in New England.
the issue with being the top are a few problems with economics.
Right.
And I'm going to show you this.
We'll get into that.
And we'll get into this a little bit later.
Yeah.
But when it comes to Willow and the problem I have with flavors is that life's a bubble. And if you ask weed smokers if everybody smokes weed, they'll tell you everybody smokes weed. Because in their fucking world, it
Yeah.
feels like that.
Right.
Drinkers that get off of work and go down and drink at the bar, they ask you, what are you drinking?
Right.
And you'll tell them, I don't drink. And they'll be fucking stunned.
Right? No, it happened
People
with you
that
and me.
don't, and
Happened with
you
you
know,
and
like,
me.
oh my God, you haven't heard a fucking inverter? You know what I mean? Like, but if you go downtown Nashua,
Yeah.
and you go, have you heard of infected rain? That's infected no.
Yeah. I get it.
That's infected. No.
Nobody knows who the fuck that is.
Nope.
Timestamp.
Listen,
Yeah.
listen, that girl, she's 35 years old. She's been traveling the world playing rock and roll her whole fucking life. She's still headlining the lounge at Fett Music Hall. I rest my case.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Diamante has been 22 for the last 10 years. And I digress. Gotcha.
I apologize to the people
It
for my
says
dinging.
on
I
her
forgot to shut
bio
my
that
phone
she's
off.
from California. She's from Boston.
Really?
Mind
See,
blown.
look at that. I just shocked
Your
the
mind
world.
is blown.
I didn't
We're
know
going to
that.
talk about the history of rock and roll. People are going to shit themselves when they found out it came from African Americans.
I told you that. I got shit for saying that. A couple
No, I
episodes
know.
back, I said the white man has been stealing from the black man since the beginning of music, and people got mad at me.
Well, they weren't
but
mad.
it's the truth.
When Eminem said it, everybody liked it.
Yeah, I know.
When Eminem was rapping that shit, everybody liked it.
We're tougher in New England. People
It's
don't
because
like.
you're
And
bald.
use it too, again. You black music, and you know. Hey, there's a concept that works. Hey, so
Sorry, so we,
but anything successful
people look down on
in
it.
rock and roll, and, right?
They
You know,
look down on it.
and that's the thing. Even in local rock, we get so much shit for advertising. Like we put up sponsored ads, and people say, "I don't want to see this sponsored ad," but you have control over what you see on social media. So if you're looking up cat and dick pictures, you're gonna see a lot more kittens and dicks. All right, now let's move on.
You hear that, Gio? You hear that? If you're looking up cat and dick pictures, you're gonna see a lot of that.
What I'm saying is back off the little girl. She's popular. She's successful. She used to have hair. She used to whip it back and forth.
Yeah.
I went over to L.A. and I went to Will Smith's house and I smoked a blunt outside of Will Smith's house.
Yep.
And other fans started pulling up.
That's cool.
What?
So as I was at the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air's actual house, I'm sitting on the side. I didn't think anybody was coming. You know, I had a bottle of vodka. We're out there just shooting. It's a beautiful night in California.
This was a long time ago.
It's a couple of years ago.
It was a long time.
Johnny was in the band.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is recent.
What?
This is more recent than, you know, other things.
Oh,
I didn't know this.
Yeah,
Okay.
no, and I went over and I went, yeah.
Wow.
And I smoked some trees at I was really weird. So this has got to be about 7 years ago, keep it real. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah,
To me
yeah.
that's still kind of recent, I feel. Anyway,
It
so
was definitely pre-pandemic.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. No, I was still drinking back then and shit like that. So, I mean, we had a couple cocktails outside of the guy's house. And I thought that there was security pulling up. There wasn't. It was fucking fans. It was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air fans. And they came and they all came. We all hang out together. Took pictures at the house.
Nice.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Do you know what's not there, though?
Did you give him some
You know when you
sepsis
go
stickers?
out the back door and there's like, you know, because Jazzy Jeff DJs out there and they have the pool party. And there's no pool.
What?
There's no
no
back
pool?
patio. There's no. That's a
Messed
separate.
up.
That's a whole different thing. If you ever go there, go ahead. Go
That's
look out
messed
back.
up.
It's a small yard. You'll be shocked. You'll be like, "Where's the pool and the fucking women and the fucking none?"
Wow.
Heard that, Johnny?
All right, what's our next one? We're done with Willow.
Every member of Bless the Fall removes their name for social media.
Yo, can I say something?
Yeah.
I don't know who the fuck they are.
I don't either, but
But this is just a good example of
But
what I
social
just
media,
said.
yeah.
I have no clue. If it wasn't for Facebook, I
No.
wouldn't know who Bless the fucking Fall is.
Right.
That
No.
sounds like you're gonna go to the
no,
hospital.
but that's why social media is important because that's how people get their name out there.
Right.
Right.
And this is what I meant about advertising. People get
Right.
mad at us for advertising on social
I
media.
worked
But
with
look,
bands when I was booking with Fet Musical, you know, this year, earlier in the year when I was working with them. A couple of bands hit me up to be on shows, and they were like, "Hey, you know, I manage so and so. We'd like to get on this show." And the first thing I do is I go on social media, and there was a couple of them I looked up on Facebook, and they were like non-existent, and I'm like, I'm not gonna add these guys to the
Oh my
show
gosh.
because I don't know who.
well,
the hell
me
they
and
are.
Melissa go shooting off our mouth the other day, and we're like, any band that I hope you guys are all watching me too. Any band is the dumbest shit we've ever said. Any band that follows us, we're gonna follow you back.
Right, you can't do that.
That was the dumbest fucking thing I think we've ever said.
Well,
And
you said it as an artist, and you meant it because you care, but as you know,
what I didn't realize is that we were gonna get an influx of bands with 42 followers.
and yeah, that's a problem for anybody.
And that,
that
so we
works
had to
with a band with
revise this
management,
shit.
That's a problem.
Everyone's gonna hate me for this. Please timestamp this.
Yeah,
Revision.
yeah.
We will absolutely follow each and every band that follows us with the revised understanding that we are not going to get an influx of bands that follow us with less than 500 followers.
Yeah,
Fine print.
yeah.
We will follow all bands that follow
so-
us if you have.
So to take the sting out of it a little bit, because you know, obviously you're going to catch a little kickback from this, a little flack.
Of course.
So from a management perspective,
Yes.
anybody involved with the band on a management level or a business level, they're not going to let the band. They're going to voice their opinion, and they don't want the band following people that literally started last week or they're still in their mom's basement.
I made a mistake.
And their three cousins have liked the page. I'm not being mean. Everyone starts somewhere. But so many bands come and go in this business. So many bands don't make it past the first year. You have to
realized what I
build
made
a
the
band and have an established following before you're considered a viable band. It's just the way it is. It's a business, folks.
I made a big mistake by saying any.
Right.
So I want to make it perfectly clear that we've thought about this.
Right.
And you know what? The thing is like, there's so many people, there's so many human beings, especially online, they have a difficult time admitting when they make a mistake. It's just, the sky's falling, and all these bands and internet personalities have the pressure to be perfect and to say everything perfectly on live television. But that's why I'm saying what I'm saying on live right now. I made a mistake. That's not what we're going to do. In fact, so if you have 1,000 followers or whatever comes first, you've been in the band, or the band's been established for a year or two, and you've been active on social media, we'll follow you.
Yeah.
That's my because I had to start actually formally approaching bands and telling them, like I was kind of like disappointed. But I had to come clean and say, hey, look, I hope you guys keep following us. I hope you do, and I hope you remain being a band. But you guys that have less than 1,000 followers, and you haven't had a show in the last year or two, or you haven't been a band for 2 years. Once you've been a band for 2 years and you got a couple followers and you got a couple shows behind you, I promise you we will follow. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I mean, I don't care who you are.
For the conversation that we having on later on, I don't want to get started now, but I got to say this. So for the conversation we're having later on about the top bands in New England, when you and I discussed that this week and decided we're going to make a list and what have you, that was hard because there's a lot of bands that I really liked that had been established and were around for a while, but they didn't make it through the pandemic. A lot of people have broken up in the last couple of years.
And a lot of them didn't fit the requirements or current modern criteria.
So the new bands they've started don't fit some of the requirements that we're trying to figure out, like who is the top bands in New England. Just because you were in a band that was really big and would have been considered a top band in New England, you're not in that band anymore. You're in a new band.
Right.
You haven't been around long enough to be part of that, And I'm not saying that you're not going to make it or you're not going to, be around next year. But we have to figure out our criteria to develop a pecking order somehow.
There's got to be breadcrumbs.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that tells a story and shows your work. There's got to be observable evidence. There has to be a clear, connect the dots style, brick and mortar, observable pathway to your mission statement, to your accolades, to your credibility.
Gio said, so just fill out. Where is it?
I was waiting for him to say something. I felt Gio. I felt him. I said, man, I need to just stop.
Gio said, so just fill out the follower application and submit your application fee. He's trying to make money for us. He's pulling an old Blue Ridge
I was gonna say,
scam.
You gotta bring that shit to Blue Ridge. Give me $75 and I'll apologize.
Maybe.
Let's go.
Let's end it
now.
now.
Do this.
That is great. What else? Lex, is that
All
it?
right, no.
I
Did we have anything?
What do you
I
got?
have more.
What do you got?
Security mistake.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we didn't
Johnny
even
and I
talk about
talked
them
this.
boys, though. So who are they called when my mom falls down the stairs or whatever the
Bless
fuck?
the fall?
Who can name a Bless the... Can anybody name a Bless the Fall song?
No, but we don't want to pick on them too much. All I can say is this. A lot of their followers were concerned that they broke up, right?
Yeah, it
Oh my
started
God,
a whole
Where's Gucci?
debate
Right.
or like a whole
So I was gonna
go check 'em out. I was
curiosity
gonna go
over
follow.
if they're actually broken up because there hasn't been a clear statement.
Right,
for the
but
past
that's a
2
very clear
years.
statement to me.
The
when
first
you
thing
take
I
the
was
band
gonna
off your
do-
page, you're not in the band anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
The first thing
They
I was
quit.
going to do is go find their music, and I was going to go try to support them in a time of need. That's
We
what
can
I was
that.
going
We
to
can
do.
do that for next week's show. Or not.
All right. I've never heard of the band before. My heart
You know what we're
goes
going
out
to do
to
for
them.
next week's show? We're going to watch the...
I would be crushed if Johnny left the band.
No, Johnny's not going anywhere. There's too many wives to meet. So...
Boo boo.
yeah.
No, for next week, we're going to watch the Dio documentary there, that Dreamers Never Die. Yeah, it's streaming now. I got the details. I'll
Can
make
I
sure
just
you
say
watch it.
something? A band, in order for a band to receive the authentication of being actually a band, there has to indeed be one.
Oh, you were talking about the guys that broke up. That
I'm
we don't even
talking
know
about period. I know there's a lot of.
So you mean there has to actually be like a band?
There's got to be human beings that are involved making the music.
This is true.
It can't all be holograms
this
in
true.
social media.
Right. This is true.
Don't fall off the chair,
when
Johnny.
I'm saying, I'm
is
not
true.
talking about music anymore.
I know.
I'm talking about when you look at Sepsiss the band.
Yes.
What makes us cool isn't that I play neat guitar. What makes that might be some of it, but and when it is, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, what makes
He's opening
Sepsiss,
himself up a cheap shot. You know what I mean? Okay.
what makes us who we are is the fact that we are all actually participating in something.
Right.
Start to take it apart, and then what it was before isn't. Let me start taking molecules.
Keep your molecules together.
Right, keep your fucking molecules together.
Hold up. So I like reading the comments as we do this because every once in a while you got to shout out to somebody if I see it. Sometimes I don't see it. I'm fucking blind as a bat.
I want to start looking at more
through,
comments.
I'm going through. So some of the comments are good, right? And I was just focusing on a Geo comment because everyone knows I have this thing where Geo and I go back and forth. Geo's a funny dude. So Geo makes a comment about the band that we were just talking about, and he said it sounds like something you say after someone sneezes. Plus the ball, right?
Well, that's funny.
That's funny.
But Sepsiss is a shitty name too. Everybody makes fun of our name.
It's funny, but then the comment right below it, Carl McIsaac. I'm pretty sure that's the guy from Newfoundland. He says, "Does the other guy talk?" And I think he means that guy.
Who is? Nah. And if you really want to see him quiet, go look at last week's episode.
Yeah, listen,
he
Carl,
fucking killed me out here.
I don't know you. You just sent me a friend request. I accepted it. I look forward to getting to know you.
He doesn't talk to anybody.
I don't know if you know Sepsiss that well, but you just kind of like threw the gauntlet down for Johnny. Do not leave him alone with your wife, Carl. I'm just telling you right now.
Especially if she's pretty.
Yeah, do not leave Johnny alone with your wife. He talks to the wives. Let me
Right.
tell you.
Yeah.
And keep his shoes away from the bed. Keep his shoes away from the bed.
I'll tell you what, you're going to know he's there.
Oh, you're going to know. Soon as he gets one look at your wife, you're going to know.
And when your wife gets a look at him, it's going to be ugly.
Oh.
Y'all heard it here first. I know all y'all.
Jesus. Gio just said on a moment, a serious note, when a band breaks up, a dream dies. So he said,
real.
let's have a moment of silence while I pour the bourbon.
Oh, man. Yo, he's heavy.
He's heavy today, man.
No,
Gio's-
we are. Let me tell you something right now. I want to make it perfectly clear that like, just like I said in the beginning, this is like for some of us, this is our life's work.
Right.
You tell a band. That's why I had to like clear everything up right there. I wasn't making no joke to them boys or girls or
No, I
whoever
hear
they
what
are.
you're saying.
I wasn't. Because I mean, me and Melissa and everybody else, everybody that's in Sepsiss pours their real personal lives into the band.
100%.
So, there's some bands out here that are like, yo, man, it's just music. Yeah, for you it is, and that's why you're a scram.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just music. It's just a game for you. There's a lot of bands out here that don't mind being silly.
Right,
That
right.
don't mind taking it serious.
Right.
It's because they don't believe in themselves. And if I was in their band, I'd have low self-esteem too.
Thank you, Angel.
But I don't have low self-esteem in Sepsiss. That's why we strive for greatness here.
Yep.
Because we are motivated. There's not a lot of bands that are willing to admit that they want to be successful. We talked about that with the Willow thing. There's not a lot of bands that are willing to publicly admit that they want to have fans or be successful. And I think that's what Willow was touching on.
Yeah.
And that's an issue. That's a self-esteem issue with creators and entertainers. I don't share that.
That's all over. Yeah.
Sepsiss, we get a lot of self-esteem and motivation, and we get a lot of enjoyment, and we receive a lot of love for what we do. Maybe some bands aren't getting that. We get letters of appreciation and gifts and outpouring and tears and
Sepsiss
hugs
fans
and
are real. The
it's a
Swarmies
real
are
thing.
no
So
joke.
like if that's something that your band's not experiencing,
Yeah.
I can see why it would be upsetting to be in a band. But if you're a competitor of Sepsiss and you ever think if you ever want to know how we're living, we are so fucking happy.
Listen, I can. That's a service that can be provided. We can teach you how to get that.
And
done.
I want to show. That's what this whole conversation is about.
Right.
Please do not fear my happiness. Please do not fear me being in love with this music and me loving all my friends and me experiencing a full life.
We want everyone to experience that, and then there's room for all of us. So
There really is. So I do want to make that perfectly clear that that my heart goes out to that band because, man, I mean, this band saved my life. If it wasn't for me making rock and roll music and meeting these people,
I will say one thing. Huge shout out to Bless the Fall. They are a huge childhood band of mine. So
Really?
Oh, okay.
really
See, I didn't
sad.
know that.
I didn't know this. This is good stuff,
It's real
John.
sad for me to hear.
That's what I'm
if
saying.
that's
Sorry,
true.
dude.
So
Are
what I mean.
they good? I should check.
They're-
I'll
yeah.
check them out. I'll check them out.
Hollowed Bodies is probably one of my favorite albums.
Another thing, though, it's hard to
was
keep.
great.
What I want to say is another thing. It's hard to keep 6 people in a room.
So here's the deal. That was I'm glad you said that because that kind of opened my eyes a little bit. I didn't know. I really didn't know.
I didn't
they were.
either.
I will check it out. But on a less serious note, I have to tell you that Carl has responded, and he said he's pretty sure that Johnny's already tapped his ex. Oh, so I don't know. I just don't know. But
Wait,
okay.
what?
I don't know.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Did you wait? Stop right now.
The whole
Did
hideout.
timestamp? Did somebody in the comments just confirm that Johnny Impact indeed booped?
This is what Johnny does. I try to warn people. No offense, buddy. I love you, but I try to warn people. You know what I
I
mean?
never thought that I would be
It's messed up.
live on social media where one of our own beloved fans would admit
Yep.
publicly
And
that
he's
you've
still
had
tuning
sex
He's
with
still
their
tuning
wife.
in. Yep.
So whoever you are that allowed my bass player to have sex with your wife, thank you for not.
Gio said,
Being
Johnny,
angry.
you had one job.
Well, I'm just glad this guy's not angry. Let me tell you something. I'm going to tell you the truth, JP. I wish you would have been there with us because the last time Johnny had sex with somebody's wife, somebody wanted to beat me up.
I know. I heard the whole story.
So the whole thing
I was
is
not
like
there.
penalty. That's like third-party dick.
I'm thankful that Bang was there. Third party timestamp. Third party dick. I'm thankful that Bang was there to keep things straight.
That's like spam.
Canned meat? What? All right. Okay. Hold on. I gotta reel us back in. All right.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right. So we talked about the Dream Has Never Died thing. We're gonna watch that for next week.
Somebody's
we talked about
dreams
Bless the
just
Fall.
fucking died.
I'm gonna check.
Or started.
I'm gonna check out Bless the Fall. We talked about Willow Smith. We got to talk about Jimmy Page.
Why not?
Let's talk about Jimmy Page because when it comes to guitar players, it's Jimmy fucking Page.
Right. I feel like
So-
Cam should be here for this.
Right? So there was a lot of talk about Jimmy Page and how he refused to be on the new Ozzy album. And people were talking
Holy shit.
people were talking about that. Yeah, they were all worked up about that. So there was
I
some,
want to know what you feel about it after.
Oh no! So what I'm gonna actually go back to the article because I want to know what you as a guitarist.
Okay.
I want to know what you feel about it. And Johnny, you're in this, a bass player, same thing. So I'm gonna go scan the article and just give you the rundown real quick. So basically, Jimmy said he had a lot of other projects going on at the same time. So it's not like he was shunning Ozzy. It wasn't that he didn't want to be on an Ozzy album.
He's a superstar.
He had a bunch of other projects going at the same time. There's an older guy now, right? So he's busy. And he basically explains that. He's like, it's not just one thing. It's multiple things. Also, he's like, where is it? He doesn't want to give away what he's doing because he doesn't want to give away the plans. He doesn't want to rat himself out for the stuff he's working on. But the real big thing of why he didn't want to be on the album, he elaborated. He said, I will never be one of those who will record alone and send someone a file.
Ooh.
I never went into music in the first place to do that. It was all about playing together.
Whoa.
And today, especially since the pandemic,
Whoa.
right?
That's
Today,
that's heavy. I didn't know that this was coming. Why are
And
you going to throw this at me right
that's
now?
why I needed to do it live. I wanted
That
to do
is
it
the
live.
crazy-
I love
Easiest-
Jimmy Page.
I love Jimmy Page too, and that's
Wow.
some heavy shit. So here's the deal. And I'm not dogging on anybody because I work with a lot of bands, national, local, what have you, that rely on media and modern day technology to get shit done because they live in different states, and I totally get that. I really do. But he just Jimmy Page, who was a childhood idol of mine, he just brought me back to that, to like when I first started playing music. You didn't do it because you thought you were going to get rich and famous. I mean, you might have done it because you wanted to party and meet girls, but you first got together with your buddies in a garage somewhere or in your mom's basement because it was all about the experience of playing together and jamming out, right? I mean, that was what we all started for. That first day that you hung out with your boys and did it, it was to play together.
I'm right now, I'm like a living controversy. But I gotta admit, because nobody ever wants to admit that they're human and that there's different parts of us. I think we always want to be like, I'm a left or I'm a right or I'm a this or I'm a that. But when you zoom in a little bit, you find out that you're
multi-layered.
You're your mom, you're your dad, you're Boston, you're Florida. And when I look at this one, I go, Sepsiss is a perfect example of a hybrid modern day band that when we want to, we conveniently show you how analog we are.
Right.
And then we fucking cut your head off with the digital sphere.
No, I know that.
Do you know what I mean?
I know that, but let me just...
That's something we do.
I'm just gonna put this at you.
Yeah.
Because every Sunday, y'all don't FaceTime and Zoom. You're all in that room over there. Together. All 6 of you.
We could not pull off what we do on stage if we didn't do that.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. So,
wow.
what Jimmy said hit me hard, and I know it hit Johnny. I saw a look on his face. So it's all about playing together. It really is, and I'm not taking away from anybody that uses the digital stuff to send ideas back and forth. I mean, I myself have had to do that even recently, working on some things.
And you know what the huge benefit, I think that consumers or people or fans of music might not know, but it costs thousands of dollars to record somebody on the drums for a couple. You know what I mean? Lug a kit down, drive down 3 hours to a studio, bring the kit down. I mean, so we're not just talking about, and I know everyone's gonna go, here you go, Will, but luxury, comfort, convenience. I mean, this is why the internet was sold to us in the beginning. So you go, you have the luxury to be in the library. Mm-hmm. You have the convenience of being in the porn studio. You have the comfort of going to concerts on your VR headset or on Facebook. And then we all get mad that it exists again.
Yeah.
You have the comfort and luxury of making purchases and doing Apple Pay and EBT and what do you want to unplug? Then before you know it, you get everybody screaming about backtracks, right? And comparing that to karaoke. And then what are we supposed to do? Take the batteries out the guitar tuners? Then what? We're supposed to go and play acoustic guitar? Then what? We're supposed to go back in the fucking woods and stand there naked? And hum? How far? Like, at what point do we go, okay, holy shit.
Yeah.
But without, you know what I mean? Without.
I took the wind out of you on that one. I'm sorry.
No, that's crazy because at what point? People love this technology because they go, oh man, I love Snapchat. I can keep track of my grandson.
Well, there's nothing wrong with any of that.
And you don't have to. You know what I mean? And
it's good stuff.
Somebody in their 70s got, you know what I'm saying, got a bad hip. They don't have to go out, you know what I'm saying, and go visit their families. But they really they love Zoom. They love. I mean, look at the people that are going to the live stream, the Sepsiss live stream this Saturday. For some of those people, this is gonna sound crazy to you, JP.
I'm listening.
Some of those people that are going to the Sepsiss live stream on Facebook this Saturday have never ever got the chance to ever see the band ever.
Yeah, so I unfortunately...
Poor motherfuckers like me.
I unfortunately can't be here. I have to work, because some of us actually work for a living, Geo. But I have to work.
Jimmy Page wouldn't be here is what I'm saying. Jimmy Page...
I do have the live stream. I did buy it. So I will be watching you Probably
thanks.
from work, as long as nobody that works as my boss is watching right now.
Can I tell you a secret?
What? What?
There's a part in a song called "The Sky Is Falling," and we could screw it up really bad, but but Lexi's gonna try to scream the part if we can get enough people in there.
I like it. Do it, Lexi. Do it now. End it, Lexi.
Yeah. End it. No, but I think this is good. Even if she screws it up, I think it's good fun, and I think that it's at least like one of those, like, you know, when like the birds throw the little bird out the nest and it flies or it doesn't moments.
Hans is psychic.
What?
Oh, that's really scary.
In the comments, Hans just said "and sing kumbaya" in the woods. Now I don't know.
I think we'll
what
get DCMA.
I don't know what he was referring to,
Somebody
but he
owns
has
that.
no idea. He has no idea what we were talking about earlier about the history of music and where it came from.
And, right.
Will might be singing "Kumbaya" later on in the program. I'm just
Well, that's
saying.
the thing. We're going to be moving on to DSP soon, and we'll tell you why we can't sing "Kumbaya" because
okay.
we'll get copyright stricken.
Carl McIsaac is new, and I like him. He asks interesting questions.
Okay.
The first thing that he asked was, "Who at the table has the ugliest tattoo?" That was the first thing.
I mean, I think it's probably between me and Johnny. I would imagine.
It would definitely have to be between you and Johnny because I
You
don't have
any
any tattoos.
That's right.
I am a blank
And you have one.
canvas.
I just have one, yeah.
And we have more. So
Yeah.
I have some ugly tattoos.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. John's got some ugly ones.
Yeah. It's rough.
We
And
can
then
check.
he
Definitely
asked
has
another
an ugly
question.
one,
He asked
for
another
sure.
question, which is really great. He said,
I think it's a toss-up.
He said, "Have you ever landed in jail while on tour?" Well, I land in jail every day, Carl. I literally am in jail every day.
Yeah,
Carl.
and here's the thing that you need to understand about me. When we started Sepsis, I was on the run from the FBI and the U.S. Marshals across country because I was serving a 12-year prison sentence from 2000.
Let me just state for the people that are watching that work with me, I was not friends with Will at the time.
No, we didn't know each other. This is a long time ago. You guys, this is 20 years ago.
Yeah, but as far as tour goes, have you ever landed in jail? So Will's done a lot of time in jail. I work in jail. People would normally think that we shouldn't be friends, but we were actually very
Now
good friends.
everybody's understanding why it was so funny when I was talking about finding Marilyn Monroe pictures. Because everybody saw the joke, but if you were from the joint, you automatically, from both sides of the fence, you were like, wait a minute, cell shake, Marilyn Manson?
Yeah.
Like, what? No, no.
So here's a fun fact, though, Carl. Another one to add to your jail question. As Will stated earlier, I've worked with the band Sepsis in many capacities in the last several years. And yes, I was a tour manager for them. We went on tour all over here, New England, East Coast. We did a bunch of stuff, and I actually took them on a tour stop that brought them all to jail.
It was a really eye-opening moment for me.
I got permission to bring Sepsis into the jail I work at, and they got to perform for a hall full of inmates.
Full.
And it was pretty awesome.
Wow.
pretty awesome.
To this day, I talk to my kids about this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
What a time when they talk about how to find value in being a musician. And when you're looking for like clear monuments and landmarks in your life that are valuable, we're taught in music that it's not supposed to be personal. It's not supposed to be emotional. Man, fuck all that. This was one of the most personal, emotional, and valuable moments in my life.
It was amazing. It was a really good moment for me, and I know it was for you, but it was a really good moment for me because I got to play a part in getting you in there, and I really felt like it wasn't just a musical performance. I mean,
I got to leave some demons on the doorstep.
Yeah, we got to talk to the guys about stuff that we'd all been through in our lives, and we tried to encourage them to not allow the uniform they were wearing to define them.
Yep.
Because, it
was about appearances and images, and how, images leave a ripple effect in society.
Absolutely.
And how to determine, who the real victims are of the shit that we do.
Yeah.
And how that's personal.
Yeah,
I
feel like we did a lot of good that day.
Yeah, it was an eye-opening and healing experience for me. And the other thing was, for the people that I love most in my life, I never thought that I would be in prison, with the closest people in my life, and be able to show them and reshare some of what I had gone through, and have them be a part of that in a healing musical way.
Good stuff. It was good stuff. Kyle, thank you for the questions. I've really enjoyed getting to know you tonight. What else we got going on here? Lexi Swarm, I'm waiting for your first single. That's Nate. Nate's waiting for your first single.
So good news about that. So the way it's going to work is we got a lot of cataloging we're going to do next year for the studio. So the studio is going to be putting out rock music too, not just the band. So we're going to have a lot of fun with that. And so it'll be like a lot of people that are in Sepsiss or the staff and other musicians that we know in the rock community will have a chance to catalog and play and do different stuff with the band.
Wow.
From a studio perspective. Of commercials.
I'm excited to see all this.
Some cool opportunities for people. I know a lot of people will want to do collabs with us and play with us, and this is a different way to do it. But another fun way for Sepsiss to put out material that isn't like traditionally Sepsiss.
Right.
So there'll be a lot of music that Sepsiss is putting out next year.
Yep.
That won't be titled under the band.
Okay.
So it'll be kind of interesting,
So it's not being titled under the band.
Yeah, it's cataloged. It's different. It's different. The studio will have it.
Okay.
It's kind of cool. Nobody knows that, but right now.
Okay. All right.
I see curiosity.
So, but
On your face. You
my
look
wheels
really
are turning.
curious.
yeah, but one of the project is one of those. So it might be a chance for you to work with a Sepsiss member, for instance,
Right.
in a different genre.
Right. Well, I actually made an offer to bars tonight.
That's why I'm kind of. That's why I'm throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So we're
not gonna
adding
talk
to that.
about that, though.
So, but a lot. So everybody. So for everybody knows, we do commercials and we do voiceovers and Christmas music and raps and all kinds of different stuff. But we don't normally catalog it under us. It's for clients. But this year, the difference will be, we'll actually be opening up a tier of cataloging within the studio that people can publish with the members of.
Nice.
That'd be fun, right?
I like it.
But staff members are in on this. And
like it.
one person that's in on it is Lexi. So there will be a Sepsiss song next year. And we're hoping that Lexi will actually feature on an actual Sepsiss song. And then that will be the introduction and conduit to perhaps her possibly having her own single on a catalog.
Go Lexi, go.
But we're hoping to do that because she loves death metal and heavy metal all day. She's screaming all day. She's running around.
You ain't gotta tell me. I know.
It's so fun for me.
I love watching
really
Lexi in action.
She's
It's
a
so much
maniac.
fun.
Yeah, she's a
with it.
maniac. Yeah, she is.
Metal's so much fun. It's nice to have appreciation for it in a different way. Like with screaming, I can understand the talent and the work that it takes to be able to even produce a false chord.
No,
It's
I
just
get it. Listen, if you've never been to a show, if you've never been to a live show where Lexi's doing merch, I don't even know how to explain it to you. There's a band on stage, they're jamming it out, they're doing their thing, and Lexi's at the merch table, and she's drumming and she's headbanging, and some dude comes up her shirt and she's slinging the shirt, taking his money, doing the drum roll. It's out of control. It's out of control. It's like a whole show right there at the merch table.
It's like remember the movie Cocktails when the guy's throwing the booze behind his back and lighting a match with his nose.
That's it.
It's like I swear to
I
God.
love that movie.
Of course you do. But that's what it reminds me of.
That's exactly right.
She's
right
got
there.
her own. So people come and see Sepsiss, and we're doing all these moves and twisting stuff and doing all these tricks and throwing stuff. Melissa's fucking hitting people in the head with glitter. And then there's Lexi doing, and she's got her moves.
Yeah.
The behind the back T-shirt.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Follow Lexi on Twitter.
timestamp.
Yes. That's gonna be the best social media app ever.
So I mean,
Twitter's gonna be amazing.
we've been talking a lot about rock and roll value. Do we really want to open up the can of worms? Because look, it's 8:00 now. Do we want to do according to Lexi?
Let's do According to Lexi live on the Honeycomb Hideout.
This is good. We'll take a breath.
There's a lot to read for this one.
Come on, Lexi, you got this.
Spotify generates an image for artists each year. They do a lot of work that many amateur and professional artists won't do on their own, building an image. Keeping this in mind, that before streaming music and DSPs like Spotify and Deezer existed, there were products like MP3 and stealing. Prior to that, there were CDs and stealing. Before that, there was cassettes and stealing. And then before that, there was vinyl and some more stealing. 8 tracks, radio, labels, and even more stealing.
Damn.
A lot of stealing. Bunch of thieves. Okay, here we go. All these products have come and went and came and will go. Try to focus on the fact that they will, again, predictably. But stealing music has always been justified and popular.
Nobody even thinks about it. They just do it.
No, I know. And like we were talking about, if anybody wants for fun, just to interject quickly, the biggest companies in the world are in court now.
Yep.
For not for big heists and conspiracies, not for knocking over buildings. I'm talking just for not paying people that work there.
Yeah, they don't pay the fair wage.
I was gonna say, Walmart's in court for not paying people. Amazon's in court for not paying people.
Yep.
And Spotify doesn't pay people either.
Nope, but people don't pay attention to it. Go ahead, Lexi.
As far as Spotify and the end of the year wrap up, you don't see many artists comparing metrics on competitive DSPs. Shout out to the few who have the ability.
Yo, and we don't do a lot of this, but I gotta give a big shout out to the band Fate Destroyed for actually putting up their metrics to they put up their metrics to YouTube and some other.
I haven't seen that. I'm gonna have to check it out.
I thought it was really cool because it's the same type of thing that Lexi's saying here. It's to say that Spotify is this product that encourages everybody at the end of the year to talk about Spotify. Everybody
here watching us that has a Facebook account has seen somebody post the Spotify end of the year thing. And it's everywhere.
And what they were saying on their band page was, that's all nice and that's cool.
Right.
But let's take a look. Why do we all just look at this one product?
Correct.
When there are literally
that's why I need to look at it. That's
7
fantastic.
to 8 different competitive products
Yep.
that pay more.
Right,
and artists will tell you that they're in it for the money and they're in it for the girls and they're in it to tell you a whole bunch of ranges of why they're in it, and money being one of them. But we know that musicians don't make music for money.
I mean, not if they want to eat well. You know what I mean?
Most musicians make music for attention. They just won't admit it, which is why it's hard for them to obtain it. You got to admit that you want something before you go and get it. You ain't going to have no money if you don't set some metrics in your mind and some goals to get. It's like, how many fans you want? If you ask most rock and roll fans how many fans they want, they tell you they don't want none. They're only in it for the music. Oh, they tell you they're in it for money. But you say, how much money you got? They don't have that either. There's no fans and no fucking bread. So why are you doing it? The same and Spotify knows why they're doing it. For attention. That's why Spotify creates the image that Lexi's talking about. They make all your banners for you. They go on Photoshop. They do all the colors for you. They set up all the sharing all for you. So all you have to do is take the link. They've done all the work that Sepsiss would do.
Yep.
They've done all the work that a normal, hard-working band would do.
Yeah.
So they make it, and they also make it easier to buy on playlists.
It's
and
easy.
fuck with the numbers.
The graphics look good. They've dressed it up to make it simple, easy, and appealing.
The difference between Spotify and iTunes is you can play and manipulate the numbers on Spotify,
Yes.
which makes it easier and gives an incentive for bands to show it off.
Right.
Sorry,
It's true.
But
as a former talent buyer for many venues, that's the first thing we'll look at is like where are their numbers and what do
because
they look
the
like.
bands are taught.
Right.
The bands are taught.
But now that everything's manipulated, that's changing things a little bit because
I'm
it's
interested to see
manipulated.
how that plays out. But I want to give a special shout out to FDS because I didn't see another band do it.
No, that's fantastic. I'm gonna check it out tonight.
And because we point out that bands brag about their end of the list Spotify results does not mean we're shaming you. After all,
No.
you're the one that's fucking bragging about it.
Yeah.
You're the one that's congratulating yourself.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? We have to start there. Don't be mad about some shit that you're fucking promoting.
Yeah.
The company gave you these images for you to promote. You latched on to that image. And now you're taking that image on yet another company's platform like Facebook that you don't own.
Right.
So you're taking one company's product
And promoting
and
it.
then promoting it on another company's product.
Yeah, and you're not-
getting mad at me
and you're not
for
getting
pointing
paid.
it out.
You're not getting paid for it.
And you're not getting paid for it.
No.
You fucking clown.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like they're once again like using artists to like use them to like promote themselves.
Yeah. That's what it is.
And they're doing it, and it's almost like the artists like it's almost like they know, but like they want to act like that
No.
they don't know. I don't know.
They do know. And that's why they don't like me talking about it. But guess what? I don't give a fuck. Is there any more to that? I love
Yeah.
this shit.
Carl, I promise we'll get to that question you've asked twice, but we're busy right now. But
This
I'll
is
get
good.
to you.
That
I'll
was
get to you.
great. Let's go.
Apple Music was once the top dog in everything when it came to digital music, but is currently now behind Spotify with 98 million users.
That's globally, though.
Wow, yeah.
That's globally.
Yeah.
However,
Oh, that's a big
Apple
one.
Music does beat Spotify in terms of US subscribers.
Stop. And who loves showing off numbers? The motherfucking U.S. bands. Because Spotify's built a perfect product built for dreamy rockers,
Right.
just like you, sucker.
Right.
Apple remains in second when it comes to global users on Earth.
But one in U.S. Okay. I get where you're going with this, Lexi. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
Thank you. As of 2021, Apple Music has an estimated 80 million users across the globe.
Well, hold on. Do you know what that means? That means that artists here in the U.S. could be showing off those numbers.
Yeah, but they're not.
Why aren't you showing off Apple numbers?
Well, because Apple didn't put it out there for you. They didn't make it easy. They didn't.
No, you can't, because you can't manipulate those numbers.
Oh, yeah.
Apple doesn't sell products
sorry.
that allow you to buy into plays.
I forgot that the other guys do that.
Let's go.
So in terms of showing off your yearly metrics, there's still a ton of listeners in a huge market
That's a big listening pool, dude.
that artists won't bother bragging
Right.
about.
So I mean, if you're one of those artists and you got 2.1 million Spotify followers a month, then you should have at least 1,000.
Yeah, but
that's
why people aren't sharing it because they can't pay for those.
Whoa! But why we can't even see any comparative?
Well, nobody wants you to, but I mean, I'm sure you could get it.
Napster pays almost. I think they pay over two. I mean, honestly, you can check it out. I think they pay 2 times over what Spotify would be offering. So if what I'm saying,
and that's still not enough.
If
but
no,
okay.
it's not. It's not. But the point I'm trying to make is
I appreciate it, though.
is they do that because as a competitor
Yeah.
of places like Spotify, they know that Spotify is just popular. It's not that it's quality. It's like a chicken nugget. You know what I mean? Everybody knows chicken nuggets.
Yep.
It can't beat a home-cooked meal. There's no goddamn nutrition value in it. It's just popular, and that's why people buy it. It's convenient. It's easy. It appears to be, and it's popular. But it's really just junk food. But this Spotify can be said in the same sense. You can't manipulate iTunes metrics like you can on Spotify.
Right.
And that's why people don't show it off. Because, I mean, even comparably, considerably, respectively, you would have somewhat, you would be able to carry over some residual fan base and metrics. So if you have 2.4 million fucking followers on Spotify, and you don't got 2,000, you don't got 2%, you don't have 2%, you can't carry over that 2% listener base, it's because you're fucking lying.
Spotify is a data mining software built for advertising.
Spotify is a data mining software built for advertising.
Nate says everything is a popularity contest.
Real talk.
It targets the largest group of hopeful musicians while advertising all music to greedy consumers. Individual music lovers listen to and consume music in
Business models like Spotify go after